Chris, welcome to Birmingham City Football Club.
Thank you.
Take us through the past few weeks from your perspective.
Yeah, I mean it's been an eventful few weeks. Obviously, a real honour and privilege to be the manager of this club, and it's been a wonderful few days. But it kind of panned out where I was on holiday while this all kind of happened. So I was in the Maldives with the family, and then Birmingham had got kind of permission to speak to me via Spurs. So we had some discussions with the ownership and the kind of football leadership team, and things progressed pretty quickly. So and we came to a conclusion with it all, and it's just wonderful to be in.
Your first appointment as manager. In terms of the timing, why did now feel right for you?
I think I've been ready to be a manager for quite a few years. It's something that I've always been on that pathway to. But for me, it was just about the right club, the right fit, and the right time. And it was more about that, I think, than anything else. It was that in Birmingham, straight away, my gut was that, this was a club that was, reflected my own ambition and was something that I really wanted to be part of. I had a great job at a great club, but, these type of opportunities are really important to capture. So, absolutely delighted to be here.
Is there anything that struck you particularly in those conversations with Tom Wagner, Garry and Tom Brady during those conversations?
Yeah, I think they're all very sort of successful, credible people in their own fields, and so straight away you respect them on that level. But their passion, their commitment, I think, to this club, you could sense that it was a place where there was a real vision of what we can do, and they were very, very committed to that. And it was inspiring to listen to them talk about what they wanted to do. And I think the more I spoke to them, as each conversation went by, and as each person I spoke to, the more excited I got, and the more I started to believe that there wasn't just one or two people here that's really, really committed to this. There's a whole group of people that are really pushing to take this club forward. And so it was an excellent process. I think it was very professional and very clear, and everything we spoke about. So I was really happy with that, and I think it's been a really positive few days in terms of getting it all done, and now starting to plan and look forward.
You mentioned you've been ready for this challenge. What will be that biggest hurdle to overcome going from a coach to a manager now?
Yeah, I think for me, I've always felt like a manager. I've always felt like a number one. I've been quite clear for a long time that I'm a head coach, I'm a manager. So there'll be no issue for me in terms of transitioning to that role. I've been someone that's had a lot of responsibility at big clubs with the managers that I've worked for, and always considered myself as a second number one, if you like. So no, I think it's natural to me, and yes, now ultimately I'm the decision maker on everything, and the buck stops with me, of course, but that's something that I'm more than comfortable with and actually prefer. So really looking forward to it.
You referenced the managers that you've worked under in the past few years. What have you learned from them that you can implement here?
Oh, so much. I mean, the managers I've worked with have, extremely successful. They're very clear in exactly how they want to work and how they want their teams to play. And leadership styles differ between the coaches I've worked for, because that's about being authentic and being yourself and bringing your own personality to the table. But very, very clear in what they want to do, how they want to lead, and how they want the teams to play. And that kind of clarity helps everybody at the club. That's from the players to the staff to everybody to be really aligned and clear on what we're doing. So I think that's probably the main takeaway.
What are the hallmarks then of a Chris Davies side? Everyone says winning football, of course, first and foremost. But is there anything in terms of style, identity, philosophy that people can point to? Yeah,
I think for me it's a high energy, high intensity style of football. To be very proactive, very dynamic in how we play, not passive in any way. So the team to be very attacking, to try to be dominant. To be a team that's playing with an energy and a relentlessness that's very difficult for the opposition. And I think that's how I've always coached and how I've always seen football. And I think that's the type of football that we're gonna create here, and I'm gonna put in place here. So to attack, to be dominant, and to make sure that we're very organised. And the number one rule for all the best teams is always to be the most hard-working team. That's very, very important. So a team that can play with a real intensity and energy and physicality. So that's really important as well.
Just want to bring up a quote from a previous interview you've done about pragmatism, and you say controlling the game with the ball will always be central to your philosophy, but you want a degree of tactical flexibility to adapt to different opponents and different situations. I'm a pragmatic person, and I feel that transfers into coaching. Does that suggest that it's not one size fits all when you go into games?
I think that comment's more about, it's about effective football. So it's not about football for any aesthetic purpose. The football that I believe in and I'll coach and I'll implement at this club is the best football to play, to coach, to watch, in my opinion, and I'm pretty sure that's universally accepted. But it's not for the reason of aesthetics, it's for the reason of being effective, to win. So the pragmatism side is making sure that we're very clear on what we're doing, how we can hurt the opposition and how we can manage their threats. So each situation and each game asks for something slightly different, and it's about being very clear on what that is as a team, as an individual on the pitch. And that's what I enjoy the most, because I think that's the art of coaching, But it'll all be based around a very, very clear game model that will be recognisable.
You've been at clubs where there's a winning culture and a big expectation on winning. How do you deal, or what is the key to dealing with that on a day-by-day, week-by-week basis?
I think my experience is you need a lot of discipline, you need a lot of consistency and a relentlessness to your approach. And the key at the big clubs, I think, is to put the pressure on daily inside the training ground. So there's never an easy day, that the pressure's on all the time, so that when you come to a match day or there becomes pressure from the outside, it's just something that's quite second nature to you. So it has to be driving a really high and elite demanding standard every single day, and really putting the pressure on everybody to push. And I think that's what the biggest clubs have naturally to do anyway, because of the expectation and the demand of the support base and everything that comes with it. But I think the way you handle that is by being very disciplined, very focused, and very consistent in your approach.
I know there's conversations going on as we speak as to identifying players who we can potentially bring to the football club. There is going to be an opportunity this window to shape the squad. How important will recruitment be during this window?
Recruitment's critical for every team, but particularly, we've got quite a few positions to fill, so it's very important that we do our work, but do it calmly and clearly, and bring the right type of characters in, because it's imperative that who we do bring in fits exactly what we're trying to create here, both on the pitch and with their behaviours off the pitch. So very important. We have some key positions that we need to fill, and there's some really good quality, skilled people here that I've seen already and met already that are working hard on that process, and that will be a big focus for the next few weeks, getting that going.
And on the theme of recruitment, you've had a walk around the facilities here. What are your first impressions? I'd imagine it's quite a big recruitment tool to come and work here every day.
Yeah, I think it is. It's important the facilities and environment's good, because yes, to attract players and to be almost a symbol of the direction that the club's going in, but also in practical terms, in terms of their day-to-day work. We need to be working at a high level, preparing at a higher level, recovering at a higher level. And from what I've seen in this training facility, it's everything that I would want. And it ticks all those boxes, so we can deliver something really, a high quality service to the players here, to make sure that we're ready for everything that we're going to face.
No announcement as yet, but in terms of coaching staff, is it a case of working with the current staff in situ, or will you be having an opportunity to bring your own support staff with you?
It'll be a mixture of the two. I think there'll be 2 or 3 people that I've worked with at previous clubs that I'll look to bring in, that I know and have worked with, and then obviously working with a lot of the current staff that are here as well, the resident staff and the people that have been here, because that's important. I think that creates the best blend, because you bring in some fresh energy, some new ideas, but you also retain some of the good qualities that are here in the building anyway. So that'll be my plan on that.
League One football, of course, this year, we will be seen from the outside at least as one of the bigger fish in the division. That doesn't mean anything in terms of when you take to the pitch, but what has to be the mentality amongst staff, players, everyone at the football club to get out of this division?
Yeah, it's very important, that mentality, because I think we need to strike the right balance in our mentality between being very ambitious and very uncomfortable with being in League One, but at the exact same time fully respectful of the challenges we're going to face, the opposition we're going to face, each opposition player we're going to face. So we need to really respect the challenge that we face, but at the same time be really, really ambitious and uncomfortable and really push to make progress. And that's going to be really important for me to create that mentality amongst the team and the staff, that everybody's very clear what's going to be expected.
Moving on to the supporters, how important is it for you and your players that you can forge that relationship in the coming weeks and months with them, and you've got that connection?
Yeah, that's essential. You know, the connection, the bond, I want to build that, and it's very, very important, you know, and that's going to be fundamental to any success that we have. You know, the players, the staff, the fans, that they essentially form the club, you know, and the fans are the heartbeat of the club. So it's important that we really connect with them, that we can be excited about this challenge that we're gonna face together, and the journey we're going to go on, because, you know, I'm sure there's really, really good times ahead. And hopefully we can put on a real quality team on the pitch that excites the fans, that they love coming to see, and really makes them proud of their team. And I think if we can generate that and, you know, create the right kind of atmosphere around the club and in the stadium, then we're going to be very, very difficult to stop.
I know you want to put your stamp on a lot of different aspects of the football club, but what are your priorities in these first few weeks leading up to the start of the League One campaign?
I think, as we discussed, obviously recruitment's important in terms of, you know, focusing around what we need to do and that side, but really it's the planning and preparation for pre-season. You know, fitness is critical to playing a high energy style of football. So, you know, we need to be really clear on our plan for the next couple of months before the season starts. So, yeah, a lot of planning in the next 2 to 3 weeks, and then making sure we have, you know, the best pre-season possible, and the players are firing and ready to go.
Chris, a very warm welcome to the football club. We wish you every success during your time here.
Thank you very much. Cheers.
Thank you.